By the way, John Gruden has some thoughts on Derek Carr I'm going to get to before the end of the hour. But before that, NBA insider for Yahoo Sports and our friend Chris Haynes is joining us on In the Chair. I used to say on the couch. It's now In the Chair. By the way, this guy always comes all decked out. You know, you could come like a warm-up suit. Broussard, after a while, just gave up. He just came in warm-ups. Okay, so I said this to start my show, Chris, is that I knew a lot about the Lakers coming in. I knew LeBron would make them better, and I knew they lacked three-point shooters. You were on the show. We knew that.
Yep.
What I had to see develop was Rondo and Lonzo. I got to tell you, not all assists are the same. There's a lot of ball pounders. Pass to get the assist. When I watch the Lakers style, which is clearly we're deep, we're going to run a lot. Lonzo fits better. He looks like he fits this team better, Chris.
Look, I have to eat a little bit of crow early on in the season. I was very harsh on Lonzo. I said that I wasn't sure that he would be able to play alongside LeBron James.
Neither was I.
And I talked about his lack of shooting, and a bunch of my Twitter followers got on me last night about his accuracy thus far. But I would say this. If Lonzo really has improved on his shooting, if this is just not a mirage,
right,
then he fits better alongside LeBron James.
Exactly.
And then you talk about ball pounders. That is Rondo. That is Chris Paul. There's guys like that who hold the ball for 18 of the 24-second shot clock.
And they end up with assists, but they're not the same assists.
Exactly. Lonzo, if you see him, sometimes he does it too much, but you see him in transition, he'll pass that ball up. Get it up. Let other guys make the plays. He's not bringing the ball all the way up and wants to get the assists. He allows other guys to get the hockey assist, and players love that.
No, this is a very interesting point. So when I'm watching the game last night, and again, it was a big question mark to me. In fact, you think your Twitter followers, I came out and I said, I don't think this thing's going to work. I wasn't even on the fence. Joy was here. I'm like, I don't see how it works. But, man, I've watched these three games. The Lakers clearly, you can tell, a team will tell you what their game plan is without telling you. The Lakers are telling you without telling you. We got 10 players, we're deep. We can't shoot to win. We got to run. We got to be a transition team. Now, that won't work in the playoffs.
No doubt.
The Bostons and Utahs will slow you down. But if you're going to play that style, Lonzo's way better at it.
And if you look at it, this is what the organization wants. They want Lonzo to take this step up. They brought Rondo in to be sort of a mentor, but Rondo still can play. He can still play some ball.
Yeah.
So if Lonzo, like I said, if this accuracy is legit, he's going to have a career season playing with LeBron. It's as simple as that.
Chris Haynes joining us. Just think about this. Last year at this time, Lonzo was hitting 38% of his free throws.
Yeah.
The improvement on last year at this time, I don't know, you weren't on the show at the time, but I can remember saying it to one of my guests, he's a year out of high school. He has a high school body.
Yeah.
Like, he's a man now. Like, I watched him last night. I'm like, that's an NBA body, and he's hitting three. I don't think we understand. We remember the Lonzo at the end of the year who had gotten better. You go a year ago to the Lonzo Ball, he was a year out of high school.
Yeah.
So I think he's really made. Now, let's transition into this.
Okay.
I haven't checked the standings or anything, but I would imagine the Cavaliers are struggling without LeBron. Oh, God, they're 0-4. Give us an update on how that's going.
Well, it's going as most people expected. You look at LeBron when he left the first time to go to Miami. The team struggled. They were a lottery team for many years. I think that's going to be the case again, Kyle. You look at that squad as well. They're kind of not fully committed to going young because they got an extension for Larry Nance. They got Kevin Love. They re-upped him.
Right.
So they're in a bit of a puzzle here because they're not great, but they're not bad. And then, as you know, to be in the middle is not good.
It's quicksand.
Yeah, it's quicksand, exactly. So they're in a bit of a tough situation, but that's LeBron. He's good for about plus 20 wins.
Okay, think about this. I want to remind people of this. The last 30 games, including the 0-4 start this year, the last 30 games the Cavs have played without LeBron, they're 4-26. Now, I want to remind you, Michael Jordan left the Bulls. They went 57 wins to 55. Yeah. Now, and Michael's great.
Yeah.
But I don't think people understand this here, is when people talk about value, I've seen the Green Bay Packers without Aaron Rodgers. He is more valuable than Tom Brady to his team.
Exactly. I agree.
Okay. Andrew Luck. I've seen the Colts without Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck's more valuable to his team than Tom Brady is to his team. Okay. There has never been a player in the history of the league. The Lakers won when Wilt left.
Yep.
They won when Magic left. I don't know. I look at LeBron and I'm like, Cleveland is last in the league in point differential. They've been housed at home by Atlanta and Brooklyn.
Atlanta and Brooklyn. Those are two teams for you. But you look at how we talk about ball-dominant players. LeBron James is a system-dominant player because everything is catered to his expertise and his skill set. And so a lot of times, these teams aren't that bad when they don't play with him, but they're so accustomed to having LeBron James on the floor because he does it all. And so when they're without him, they don't know how to play without him.
This is interesting. It's a good point.
They don't know how to play without him.
He is the system.
He's the system. He's system dominant. And like you said, there's never been a player like that. Michael Jordan wasn't system dominant. LeBron James, you cater your offense to him, your defense to him, your transition to him.
Almost
everything.
like Cam Newton. If Cam Newton left Carolina, I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles lost Carson Wentz.
Good point.
And they won with Nick Foles.
Yeah.
If Cam left Carolina, you have to have a completely new offense.
System dominant.
None of it works. You'd have to get different backs and different receivers.
No doubt.
And I think that's a very good point. By the way, do we have what Steph Curry did last night? Do we have the audio of that yet?
He did something?
Yes, Steph Curry last night. Steph Curry does this from time to time, reminding us, I'm the world's greatest shooter. Here's the tape.
Is he feeling it? Yes.
There it is.
Now, Steph has 11 points in the last minute and a half.
Another three.
Curry has not scored this quarter until now.
And Beal spelled it out. Curry three.
Ball's not moving for them.
They've almost depleted into it.
He shot it. God, he does that about 3 times a year.
Yeah.
About every month and a half, you're like, you know what's funny? This is what I love about Steph, Chris. And he recruited Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Okay, understand this.
Yeah.
Melo struggled to play with Jeremy Lin. He didn't like it. This guy said, I'm going to go. I got Klay Thompson next to me. How secure is Steph Curry? I'm going to go recruit a guy that needs shots to score. Steph Curry is not only a great player, his self-awareness, his understanding of the game. Folks, you are looking at one of the, and I don't want to hear about he gets hurt and this and that. This is one of the smartest, greatest, most revolutionary, most important humans that has ever played this game.
Well, and probably one of the most selfless superstars as well.
Of all time.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. When Kevin Durant first went to the Golden State, I had my doubts about if this was the right move for Steph.
Too many shooters.
Yeah, too many shooters. He's coming into his own, and you bring arguably the second best player, in the game on your team. But look, one thing that I took for granted is that the system, Golden State system, is geared towards Steph. It's all everything, the running gun, the moving without the ball, all of that is predicated because of Steph's skill set. And it's still like that today. Kevin Durant is still as good as he is, but when you're hitting all these threes, and when you can do the things that Steph can do, when he can spread the defense out to full court, basically, no other player in the NBA history has ever been able to force a defense like that. That's when you know that he made that system, he runs that system, and he's always going to be the face of that franchise. I still think Kevin Durant is a better overall player.
Yeah, that's right. In terms of a better overall but in terms of running,
No doubt.
we confuse these two all the time.
No, we do.
We confuse. Well, he's the best player. Listen, very few players as good as Allen Iverson ever. That doesn't mean he's as important, as invaluable, as revolutionary as Steph Curry.
Yeah.
We forget there's a big difference sometimes between just Derek Jeter was not as talented as A-Rod. A-Rod was more talented. Jeter was the heart and soul of the Yankees. Chris Haynes is his name, senior NBA guy, Yahoo Sports. Love having you on the show.
My God, I love being here.
Love having you on the show. Coming up next, John Gruden. John, be very careful. Listen.